Waddle, Hamp Green, those guys will be able to contribute and help us as well. But you got to get it in. So just a good foundation from a base offense standpoint, and that's, I think, the biggest objective is coming out of spring, feeling good about what we do install, because if we can get the base down, then we'll be able to build from there. And then defensively, it's really just learning from our season, getting everybody in the right spot. We got some really, really good players that aren't going to really be participating in spring, like Rook and Peyton Page and XT, so, but that's like, okay, where's Greg? Where's Zaire? Where's Cade? Denhoff, and really seeing the Jaheim and seeing where those guys are, these new guys that have rolled in here, TJ, Peter Woods, Steph Island, Burley, so it's exciting. But just getting the base down, the base foundational pieces, offensively, defensively, and special teams.
Could you give us a glimpse of maybe what the offensive line will look like personnel-wise with those two guys out to start off the gate?
Well, you're going to be out there today, so you get a chance to see for yourself. We'll start out with some special teams and some indie, and, in the past, y'all have seen us kind of do a tempo period. We most days we'll do a tempo period, and I think today we're actually doing that tempo period against the defense. We'll just a little fastball, good and good, try to get about 10, 12 plays run in a quick 5-minute period. But, you'll see Blake Miller out there. He kind of finished up there at right tackle and really like where he's at. I mean, he's going to be we think, a really special player. I mean, it's hard to start as a true freshman, and, he certainly wasn't perfect, but he made a lot of strides, and so excited about where he's at. And then over at left tackle, Tristan will get his opportunity. Marcus Tate gives us a lot of flexibility because Marcus Tate can play left tackle. We got to get, when we get through the summer and get into camp and we really figure out who the best 5 are and then who's the 6th guy and the 7th guy, Marcus is a guy that gives you a lot of flexibility because obviously he can play guard, but he can play left tackle and play right tackle. And so who is that guy? Like last year we thought Blake was the 5th best guy. So we moved Walker to guard. And so that's kind of where we were. Obviously you got Putnam in there, and he's in a good spot. And then Mitchell Mays, I think, took a big step forward, finishing those what he started last 4 games for us, and really did a nice job. So you'll see him in there, and then probably today, probably a combination of Trent Howard and Ryan Linthicum. That's kind of where we are from just guys that can really go be execute functionally as a football player. So you'll see Linthicum and Trent kind of working guard and center, and both kind of working some center, and then you're going to see a lot of Dietrich. Kind of where he's at. He's going to get his opportunity with that first group at guard as well. John is going to be, he's limited right now, so I'm not sure when we'll get him back, dealing with this appendix deal. So that's kind of where it'll start. Sadler's going to start out there. We'll probably start him as the 2nd left tackle. We'll probably go out there with Tristan first, Sadler second, working left tackle. But Sadler is a guy that we really think can play anywhere. We're real excited about him, and like I said, he probably would not have redshirted last year had he not got hurt. But just going out there today, he'll probably work with the second group left tackle. Just we got to get everybody going, and but he'll be a guy that'll cross train, and I think when it's all said and done, we'll be able to play wherever. And so again, who's the best 5? And if that means moving somebody, then, we'll do that. But so it's going to be good. It's going to be a good opportunity for a lot of these guys. It's going to be a good opportunity for Tristan, a really good opportunity for Sadler, great opportunity for Dietrich and Trent Howard and Linthicum. These guys to step up and see what they're going to do. Tucker's a guy that's been around here and I mean, hadn't really kind of grabbed a hold of the opportunity yet. And so we'll see what he does. But it's a veteran group. That's for sure. We only lost one guy, and J Mac, and he performed well at the combine this week. What, he run 4.99? So I think he thinks he's officially a D lineman now. It's a good group back. But again, Wish, Parks, and Tate were out there, but we're very confident in who they are. And so I think in the end, this will be a blessing for us to really develop a very good group and get to a point that we probably hadn't been in a couple years.
Will you look at Blake at all on the left side? Or do you
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
You've had a great run of kickers from Catanzaro to Hugel to Potter. How tight do you think the competition will be at kicker this spring?
I don't know right now how tight it'll be because we hadn't been out there yet. But I mean, Gunn is we signed him because we think he's special and he's got a cannon, and so we'll see. Where Liam is. We'll see how he gets out there and competes, and Kastner and Morton. We got a little group. They'll go get out there. I mean, the one thing about kicker, there's no gray area, right? It either goes through the pipes or it doesn't. So it's not very subjective. We'll see, but we feel good about Robert Gunn. I mean, I think he's a special talent. I mean, I really do. But you got to go do it. So as far as where we are competition-wise, I mean, we'll see as the spring goes. We got both our snappers back. I'm excited about that, and I think the competition is going to be at punter. With Jack coming off a red shirt, I think he's kind of mentally got himself in a good spot. It was really good for him last year. We punted him in the ACC championship game. He bombed it. I think that was good for him. And then obviously Aiden got a lot of experience last year. So, we'll see.
Dabo, what do you think so far from what you've observed of Garrett Riley, strictly as a quarterback development coach? And around the SEC and ACC, there have been several offensive coordinators that have bolted for the NFL. Are you worried about the demands of college football coaching kind of making coaches leave for the pros?
Okay. All right. You tested me. All right. So the first one was his development as a quarterback coach. I mean, I think he's first of all, he's awesome in the meetings. I really enjoy his demeanor. He's the same guy every day. He's very bright, very consistent. He doesn't act like he's got all the answers or anything like that. I mean, he's really he's very confident. I love that about him, and he should be. He's been very successful. But the quarterback that he had at SMU, I think his name was Bushell. Is that Bushell? Bushell. And, you saw his impact on him when he was there. And then, he goes into TCU. And ironically, Chad Morris's son won the job in camp. I was just with Sonny Dykes like a week ago when we was talking about this. But Chad Morris's son won the job in camp, got hurt, I guess the first game. And Duggan, the guy ended up winning the Davy O'Brien. I think all you can really base the answer on is just a guy's track record. And he's got a good track record when it comes to developing quarterbacks. So I think he's got a good knack for that. He's been around a bunch of good ones. That's the first part of it. And then I think the second thing you asked was about the NFL. Yeah, I mean, there's no question that, where we are in college football right now from a calendar standpoint, it's crazy. I mean, it's just it's especially for, the assistant coach, because there's just, if you, and it depends on really, I guess, who you're working for too. It's not a surprise to see a lot of guys that have made that move just because, when football's over, right? You're not dealing with recruiting and all those type of stuff. So, and right now, there's just a lot of uncertainty and a lot of chaos in college football. So I'm not surprised by it, but I'm not worried about it as far as, guys doing it, if that's what they want to do. Like I said, I'm not sitting around worried about that, but I'm not surprised by it.
Coach Antonio Williams with 1 year under his belt now. What do you look to see from him in terms of spring ball improvement and growth? Just
maturity. You just want to see a guy, learn and apply the lessons from last year. Just take that next step, you know. I mean, he's freshman All-American. They don't give sophomore All-American. So, you know, you just take another step from a maturation standpoint in his overall, you know, total development. He needs to get stronger in the weight room. You know, get a little bit more committed nutritionally. You know, become a little bit, and you know, he's very, like, technically he was a pretty advanced kid coming in here, but really polishing up on some things from a technical standpoint, and then starting to, you know, become a little bit of a leader. You know, that's a position that he thrived in. He came in, he ended up winning the job, and but he just taking that next step and being a dominant player day in and day out, and just physically and mentally maturing a little bit. And I think you'll see that in him. I've already seen that in him as well, but you know, just being a little bit more of a leader as well.
Speaking of receivers, how big is this spring for Cole, just continuing to learn the position?
Well, it's big. He obviously has a lot of confidence coming out of the season last year. We're really fortunate we were able to redshirt him, and then for him to be able to get the experience that he had, but also have success is a huge positive for him. So, you know, Cole, Antonio, Adam, Bo, that's kind of the inspector. You know, those five guys right there, you know, should really, you know, kind of butter our bread a little bit, if you will. I mean, that's kind of where it should start. And then, you know, eventually, if we can get Stellato healthy, he could help us. I mean, he was having a great fall camp, and when he tore his ACL. So hopefully we'll get him back in there. And then obviously you got Tyler and Tink